Oops, I have something up and Luria is not here. Wait, let me take this out, my banner. There we go. Okay, imagine this. You have a dream of making a bigger impact in the world, of growing your thought leadership, growing your business, having a platform to share your voice, your message. And one day, the universe decides to open the heavens and grant your wish. That's what happened to me about 5 years ago. I was attending Social Media Marketing World, a giant event with thousands of people in San Diego, California. And I looked through all of the classes. There's so many different things you can take on so many topics of online marketing. And there was one class called How to Start Your Own Live Show. And I thought, this is like, I had been doing lives, but not strategically. I knew that they were fun, but I never realized, I never thought of I could have my own show. So of course I took the class and I never took so many notes and asked so many questions. And after I flew home, there was all of this information. As you know, when you go to an event, you get so much great information. And we don't always implement, but this was something I was going to implement. And a month later, I launched a weekly live show. And honestly, my life has never been the same. The class was given by Luria Petrucci. And now, ever since then, whenever Luria speaks, whenever she has a new class, a new program, I listen, because when Luria speaks, my presence grows online. When I listen to Luria, everything gets better online for me. Luria is the queen of live streaming, and Luria is with us today. Luria!
Oh, no pressure whatsoever with that intro.
You changed lives, so no pressure. No.
I'm so happy to be here. And if I remember correctly, Nika, didn't you win something? Didn't I I remember handing you a prize of some kind.
Yes, and I've always wondered, and I think, was that an amazing marketing idea of yours to draw me in even further? You didn't have to, because I was already in love with everything you were saying. But of course, at the end of the class, you said, everyone do something right now, go live and do something, and I'm going to pick one of the live streams and give a gift. And I thought, well, I'm good. Whether I win the gift or not, I am putting into practice some of the things that Luria just taught me. And I went live, and I think it was the end of that day, you're like, hey, you won the prize.
Yes.
And it made me fall even further in love with you.
Right. I buy your love. No.
Yes, buy people's love. It's a good idea. So was that one of your tips for buy people's love?
I think that was just an incentive, right, to take action, and I'm all about action and not just learning and holding on to information in your brain, but taking action. And so I think that was, I forgot that was the incentive for that speech. I'm going to have to get back into doing something like that on a regular basis.
You tell people to take action and they could win. It was a Mevo camera.
Yeah.
That was like, it would add to my live streaming. It was appropriate. It was motivating.
Right.
So yeah, so good. So the reason I wanted to talk to you, well, first of all, you have a live summit that is coming up in about a month and a half that everyone needs to know about. So I do want to sprinkle in some talk about that because it's important. Like I said, whenever Luria speaks, you have to listen. If your goal is to grow your reach online and really connect with people, that's one thing that Luria, and I know you know this because everyone says it about you, and it's one of your super powers, is connecting with people. I think one of the challenges that many of us have is we go live and we don't feel like ourselves. It's like the minute the camera goes on, we go, oh, I'm so cool in real life. And the minute the camera goes on, I'm just a weird, awkward. So being you, actually being that awkward, weird self you talk about. Because
are you calling me awkward?
Not when I say awkward, I was talking about myself.
No, but the thing is it's like, it is what I preach, it's what I teach, it's what I help people accomplish, is bringing that personality out. And I loved when I saw you do the same, right? Because I think you've always been pretty comfortable on camera, but when you really tapped into who you are at a core, that's when things, I think, started to change dramatically for you. Is that about right? We're having button issues.
I clicked a banner and something happened. That's what it's live. Okay, sorry.
Hey, it's
live. Pretend that didn't happen. Let's get right back into it.
But yeah, I think that was a big change for you, is when you started to just really embrace your awkward self, because we all have our awkward selves, right? And your goofiness, your willingness to dance and sing and just to be you. I think that was a big shift in your success.
Yeah, and I love that and thank you. And I love that you tell people to do that. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because is there a fear around that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're taught to hide away our true selves, right? Through societal upbringing. And that's a whole other conversation. But I think it comes from a place of wanting to be accepted. And us as human beings need to be with other people and connected to other people. And unfortunately, there's a kind of a dichotomy of like wanting to belong and not really fully understanding that you belong with other people and connect with other people by being yourself, like by connecting through those human things that make you you. And I think that we're just, because somebody made fun of us in school, or because somebody told us that we were doing it wrong at some point in our lives. I mean, they push us, quote unquote, down, right? And not on purpose necessarily. It's just something that happens. And so by the time we get to the point of wanting to create content online, we're like, okay, people don't like that about me. That's a flaw. I think I'll hide that away. And it's all happening subconsciously. It's not something that we're really crafting necessarily, but it definitely comes from a place of fear. But when you push past that, that's when the magic happens. This is why I now dance on camera. That sounds wrong.
No? Does it? No. You love dancing, and so why wouldn't you put that joy into what you're doing?
But it started because I was afraid to do it. It was a passion of mine and something that I loved to do. I did ballet as a teenager, and I wanted to get back into dance, but it was something I kind of hid away from the world because I'm not a good dancer by any means, but I love to dance. And so that was a challenge to myself to push past my zone of comfort. And because that's what I encourage other people to do. So I had to live it myself.
See, and I think that's one beautiful thing about you, and I think we can be inspired by that, is if a lot of us teach what we need to learn,
Yeah.
and when we're doing that, we have to step in and do the
Yeah.
scary things. When we're trying to inspire and motivate others, just doing it ourselves is one of the biggest things we can
Absolutely.
do. And you reminded me, I talk a lot about going viral with videos,
Hmm.
and we talk about when you look at videos and you're saying, you're afraid to not be perfect, to show your flaws. But if you look at some of the most popular videos, they are people being raw, real, imperfect. Those are the ones we can connect with. We cannot connect with perfection. Why are we trying
Yeah.
to connect with people by being perfect? We can't. So thank you for reiterating that in your way. I love
Yeah.
that.
And I think that it's important to realize that some of those more raw, right, kind of videos, like it's not always going to be the thing that leads to money right then and there. For example, I did a video this year that, was really raw and vulnerable, and I just kind of let my heart out about some things that I was going through, and tried to shift the mindset to, hey, like we are powerful, like we can get through hard times. And that was a really raw video for me to do and put my heart out there to the world like that. And it's not something that I'm going to make money at. Like I even turned monetization off on that, right?
Mm.
But it's important to be that human person with your audience from time to time or on a regular basis, right? But like it's important to have that vulnerability in order to create the connection on that human level so that, when you do like ask somebody to buy something of yours, right? You're not doing it because of. And I think that's an important thing when it comes to making money online. You're not
Mm.
being raw because you're going to make money from it. Like, I think that's the wrong mentality. You're being raw because you're building a human connection. And guess what? On the other end of that,
Yeah,
it just leads to more money because people trust you, because people love you, because people
exactly.
want to be in your presence.
Yeah.
And so it's a long-term thought process. And I think that's important for people to realize is you can make
Mm.
a lot of money really quickly, right? By doing certain things. Um, but if you don't, I've been doing this for 15 years, coming up on 16, and I've been through a lot of transitions and a lot of pivots in my career. And if you don't think long term, you won't survive. Like you will trail out and go away at some point. So,
That's a really good nugget to remember. So yeah, we are looking at today and what can I do right now?
right.
But if we don't think long term, it could all be a waste of time. And I
Yeah.
like you said you turned off monetization, for example, on a video where you were raw and real. And I want to kind of talk about you said I'm not making money from that video. I would disagree. You maybe aren't making money
Directly.
directly on the
Correct.
video, but being raw and real, and maybe those are not the terms that talk to everyone, but being
Yeah.
authentically you
Yeah.
is a way. And I want to talk about, because many of us love going live, and the next level is how to turn that into a moneymaker, how to help build our businesses to earn profit, because that's the point of being in business. You could make money directly from a video, but most people are not full-time live streamers and
Yeah.
YouTubers. They're using video to grow their presence and to connect with people, because indirectly and long term, that does grow your profits.
Yeah.
So yeah. So even though you're
And
saying,
go
yeah, go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, and it's important. Like I think that you were saying, raw and vulnerable is not necessarily words that people maybe comes with a lot of fear for people, but it's also about just adding your personality to it. Because just connecting on some fun levels as well, where it is being more raw with your audience about not hiding away those flaws that you perceive about yourself and just making that a fun, enjoyable experience. And when you do that, those are, those raw, vulnerable moments are, from time to time. It's the stuff that happens all the time in video that is going to turn into money for you and revenue and build your business and build your presence. Is like examples. For me, I hate the fact that I grew up without pop culture references, and so I don't have like I don't know who's dating who in the celebrity world or what movie quote that is that you're pulling out right now. Like I don't know those things, and I always viewed that as a really flaw for me because it came with a lot of shame because of my childhood and why that is the case. And so for me internally, I thought the world just would look down on me for that. Well, it turns out when I embraced that flaw and like I let the audience know, I don't, that's just way over my head. I don't know what you're talking about. They found joy in it. They found excitement and they tease me about it, but in a good, positive, friendly way.
Course.
Yeah. And they try and like trip me up with a movie quote in
Yeah.
the chat room, right?
And
Those are the things. Yeah,
that's
those are
why
the
you
things.
connect with people because you're like, let me make fun of this. I had shame and
Yeah.
now, yeah, let's make fun of it together.
Exactly. And, I mean, I think that you have just an incredible way of turning your experiences into positive fun for your audience. And you can take this as so many different angles. But I think that that's the core is, we can talk about all the different ways to make money, but if you're not connecting as a human being and you're trying to be too professional and
Mm.
buttoned up because you think you're talking to another business owner or you're trying to sell something, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. So do you say that being authentic, being you, uniquely you, as you
Mhm.
say, is that step one in turning your live streams into profit?
I think because it takes people a little, I think, yes, at a core, if you're going to, understand what it takes long term to turn your audience and build that business out of it, then yeah, that's at its core. However, some people take a while to get there, and that's
Mhm.
okay because it's a step and it's an understanding of like, okay, I can release this bit, and that's turns out to be okay. So let me go a little further. Let me go a little further, right? So that
Mm.
it's a process for a lot of people, and that's 100% okay. So in the meantime, you can absolutely start making money. I just think it's more powerful once you release your personality into it, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's so powerful. So what else? Like, I know I titled this "Making Money with Live
Yeah.
Streams." So tell us a little more about making money.
So if you have, I mean, you can go so many different ways as a business owner, you probably have products that you can sell, right? That you courses, maybe you have physical products, maybe you offer services or consulting, but you can also, so we can talk about how to drive that, from live video into those sales.
Mm.
And I have a great example that I want to share with you on that. But you can also start with like affiliate products, right? So
Wow.
affiliate is actually a really good way to start the snowball of making money through live video because you find a product that you don't have to spend time and effort to create. And you're using somebody else's product, but it's something you believe in, you use, it matches the needs of your audience. And that is a really good way to just start that snowball effect. Um,
I love that.
And
I want to
yeah.
just add to that too, is not only is it great that you don't have to spend the time creating a new product,
Mhm.
but I think that most of us have an easier time selling other people's products because we can rave about them and not
Yeah.
feel like, "Oh, it's my product, so should I rave about it? Is that conceited?" For
Yeah.
example, as my assistant just wrote, you should join the Expand Your Reach virtual live, not love, but I like that virtual love summit. Even
Oh,
better.
hey,
Let's
hey, we'll make it a love summit.
we are going to love it. So it will be filled with love. And this is my affiliate link. So
Yes.
I will tell you honestly, I get a commission if you purchase this, but I can rave about it because, as I said in the beginning, I love Luria. I buy her products. I get results from them. I am telling you authentically and honestly that I know you're going to love what Luria is putting out. And that's so much easier for all of us to do than saying, you
Yeah.
should buy my product because I know you're going to love it. So great way to start by earning income by selling other people's products. I love that.
Yeah. And the audience wants to support you, right? So like I 1000%, if you guys haven't, gotten your ticket already and you're hearing about it from Nika, like use her link to support her, right? And that's where that connection comes in, is once you build that actual deep connection and it's not just a surface level thing, then people will do anything to support you and use your links and buy your stuff and do all of those things, because even though they don't necessarily need it, right? Like
Yeah.
I had, so last year, Black Friday, we were we had some discounts on some of our products, right? And we made it just super fun. We had Callie, our community manager, we call her, or the audience calls her Pocket Callie, because she's like on a green screen in the corner down here, like small, hitting a piñata just on the other side of the camera. And every time somebody would buy something, right? She's like, just celebrating people. She's calling their names out, making them feel special because they are special and they're not just a number to us. And that experience made people just buy more, one, because it was fun and an enjoyable experience. It's not a sales pitch, right? I'm like, buy my stuff. It's like a
Yeah.
celebration. It's having fun. And that was incredibly powerful. In fact, out of that, I have now a team member that had no idea who we were before that day. And so that's pretty cool because it's like just super powerful. It turns people from viewer to buyer very quickly.
Yeah, and to loyal lovers, speaking of
Exactly.
love, of
Yes, speaking
you.
of love, 1000%.
Yeah, such a good idea. I feel like I need to tell everyone, write this down, because I'm going to do this. Like, celebrate purchases by
Hmm.
celebrating the people who are buying your products, because they are your clients and your loyal friends. And when you and the best thing that we could see, like our favorite thing is our name. So when someone calls
Yes.
out and celebrates you, you immediately want more connection with them. So I love this idea so much.
And you don't have to have a green screen or a pocket Cali yourself, right? You can.
But you could, I guess, get a pocket Callie.
You could. You could have physical confetti. I have a stash of physical confetti that I have in my closet that we use from time to time to celebrate people. You could open a bottle of champagne. You could write their name on a whiteboard. I mean, you don't have to have any investment of time or effort into it. It's just I shouldn't say effort, but the effort of putting your love into the people who are there for you.
Yes.
That's what matters. It doesn't matter how that's done.
Right. Exactly. I love that.
April says, I love confetti. Yes.
Confetti,
Who
woo!
doesn't? Now, what
And
I don't like are sparkles.
Oh, me too. I just detest sparkles. Just saying hello to our community. Hello, welcome everyone. So good to see you. Yeah, we could talk another time about sparkles. They do not go away ever.
All right.
So don't use sparkles.
Yes.
So wonderful, wonderful idea. So yeah, tell us, give us one more.
Yeah, I think, it's important to realize. So let's say you do have your own products, right? How do you move people from live video into a buyer? one, it's really about showing them that you care about them, right? So like even a simple thing, it starts early. So at the beginning of every show, I ask who's new on my live streams, and that starts the relationship because then they speak up, right? I can ask them something about themselves. I can get to know them a little bit and show them that I care about them as a human being. It starts there, like just as pure and simple as it is. And then I love live for selling because it's the most organic way you can do it. As you said, like we all have a hard time like being vain about it. It sounds icky, right? And it's an uncomfortable thing to be like, hey, buy my stuff, yo.
Mhm.
Like, right?
Does that work? Could you just come on and go, buy my stuff, yo?
Well, certain YouTubers do, so I don't know.
If it fits your authentic, uniquely you personality, then do it.
Exactly, right? But for a lot of us, it's it needs to be more of an organic conversation. So people are asking you if you've done your products right. Let's say you have a course. If you've built that course because your audience that you're talking to needs that, it is incredibly easy to actually say when somebody asks a question that's relevant, say, here's the quick answer. But by the way, I go way deeper into that in my course. And, here's where you can get it. Like, it's an organic conversation at that point. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to perform that pitch. There are times when that has to be a little bit more like, on target, or like, if you're in the middle of a launch, you're going to have a little bit more direct conversation about that. But at the end of the day, you can sell constantly and you don't have to, like, I hate the launch process. I hate the or relying on the launch process.
Okay.
Right. And I prefer more of an evergreen approach. So I don't take some of my products down because I can sell them through just creating content and organically talking about it.
And just like you said earlier, and Susan said, thinking long term, when you are going live and building connections with your audience through some of the techniques that you just shared, and really being yourself and welcoming people and celebrating people, that you are selling when you, like you said, a conversation is selling. Oh yeah, you need this. We're talking about it. Here's a great product for you. It's a natural way to sell and make money from live streaming. So
Absolutely.
it's
And
just, it becomes natural.
people love it, right? They love to support you and they love to buy what's relevant to them, and that's it's really simple.
Yeah.
People make it way harder than it is.
Right. Well, once you're you and you're making connections, you're telling the truth and they trust you when you say this is a great product for you.
Yeah.
So excellent. So then let's, before you leave, talk about, and it's the time to join now, because even though it's in January, there's an early bird special. So you want to come in now before the price goes up. There's no reason to wait.
This is
if
the
you're going to come.
lowest price.
Yeah, lowest price. And it's really inexpensive. And we're going to have a talk, Luria, about how cheap your things are. But totally the value.
Everybody
honestly,
keeps telling me that.
the products I have gotten from you and that I have built my business around for so inexpensive, but that's a topic for another time. Join now is what I'm saying, before Luria comes to her senses. So tell us just quickly, I know you have to go, what are some things we're going to get from this summit?
So it's called Expand Your Reach, and it's all about turning your reach into revenue. So growing your audience and growing your business in 2022. The speakers list is just out of mind blowing. That's not a phrase that works, but you know what I mean? Like we've got Amy Porterfield, Flynn, Mike Stelzner, Daryl Eves. Just some amazing speakers there. And my goal is to give you information that you've not necessarily heard before, right? Some secrets that are working for these people, but also not just a fire hose of information. We talked about it, earlier, like I am an action-oriented person and I cannot deliver anything in a fire hose approach where it's just like, okay, here's a bunch of information, now go do something with it, and you're never going to actually implement it. So my whole purpose behind this is to actually help guide you into an action plan for 2022, so that you are making decisions based on your needs and your channel, and it'll be a really impactful thing that you can start with focus and start with a targeted approach for what you're trying to accomplish, whether you're just beginning or you want to level up what you're already doing. I'm super excited about it, if you can't tell.
Yeah, it's so good. So join me at this summit.
Yes.
You do want to yes. So
and it'll be interactive, so you will actually get to see Nika.
Yes, and I am speaking, and yes, like I said in a post, serious imposter syndrome as I saw my face next to these speakers, including Luria. So thank you. I am honored and delighted, and
you
can't
don't
wait to share.
have the thing is, you don't have any need for imposter syndrome because you are bringing the fire, right? So we will be talking about that short form content and how to actually turn it into revenue. So I'm super excited to have you there.
Fun. Me too. So go nika.live/EYR for expand your reach. Join. There are 2 options, full access and basic, but you'll see the difference there. But join now because the price is going up. For the same thing, get it now.
And let us know when you do so that we can celebrate you.
Yes, absolutely. Let us know. And yes, we will absolutely be celebrating you, my beautiful friends. Thank you for joining me. Luria, thank you so much. It is such an honor and delight to speak with you. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. And everyone, I'll see you on my next live stream, but I'll also see you at Luria Summit in January.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.